Okay, we're set up here for a little camera shoot doing basically still photography for a portrait headshot, and what we have is a softbox here that's controllable with a couple of switches on the back, so we can actually have control over one or two banks of 4 fluorescent lights that are daylight balanced. I have a reflector over here, which is basically just one of those windshield reflectors to keep the sun out, available at most auto stores. It has a matte finish side. It also has a bright finish side, so we can have either a shinier sheen or a little bit more of a muted reflection. I'm electing for the muted reflection so that we have a better skin tone. Over here as well we have another one of the boxes that we'll be using as a bounce off of the background, so that behind the subject we have a nice radiant light that will be here. And as far as the camera is concerned, using my Canon 60D, which will be set up in a standard sort of mode for shooting stills. As far as the profile is concerned, that's going to be the standard mode, and the rest of it will basically remain the standard. On top of that, we also have the Canon 1.8 85mm lens, which comes out to an equivalent, don't quote me on it, somewhere 115 or so. I'm sure we can look it up and figure it out. Basically, this is going to provide for a nice portrait look, shallow depth of field, and what we'll probably end up having to do is adjusting the f-stop so that we have about a 3.5 or so, making sure that the tip of the nose, the seen side of the ears are in focus, as well as the eyes. And beyond that, we also will probably do a small interview about the employee. So I have a wireless microphone set up here. This is a basic Asden wireless microphone. We have had some trouble with the interference on this mic, so it's not my preference. Look to replace it at some point, but it does work for close situations like this, as long as the electrical interference isn't bad. I also have a set of headphones to be able to monitor the audio, which with the DSLR camera you don't have an output. Hint, hint, Canon, hint, hint, Nikon, come on, give us one, please. So we're going to be monitoring the output of it here, and that's going to let me know if I'm hearing any of the interference that we've heard in the past. Connected via the mini HDMI is a Lilliput monitor, which I've crafted this little hinky shield for it to be able to take a look at the person. And I have it set off to the side of the camera so that during the interview I can stand off to the side and have her essentially talk to me while being able to glance to the monitor and make sure that her head doesn't bob out of frame if she starts to laugh or move around. If she adjusts herself, she's not going to also have a piece of her face clipped off. And this is especially important as you start to mix up some of the interview photography to include a wider mix of things than the standard head and shoulders, to have a wider shot, a closer shot, a little bit more of an off-the-cuff sort of style that's popular today, and one that I prefer because it allows us to start off wide and then get in close with the subject. Of course, we have electrical cords running here. I like to keep them nice and flat to the floor so nobody trips over them, and a nice coil ready to put back in our vehicle. Both of these light stands have sandbags on them. These are available through Amazon, and I'm sure a lot of other folks as well, but these bags have kitty litter in them so that they absorb water as opposed to the sand. I have those sometimes within plastic bags. In this case, I found I could get more kitty litter in the bags for weight without the plastic bags. And that's essentially it. Other parts of the kit available if we need them, in case we want to shoot something cool as a cutaway material to help bridge the gaps between the interview segments. The Lens Baby Composer. I also have a handheld rig that's collapsed at this point, and another one of these. This is my newest pickup. It's the Opteka X Grip, which is a pretty good unit for having on the camera. My only complaint with any of these is that this works well until you put it on a monopod, tripod, or something else, at which point the fixture of the camera to the mount works out really well. Unfortunately, this to the monopod or the tripod head creates some wiggles, so I'm going to have to figure out how to fabricate a little extra plate to make up the gap between this knob and the flat plate, and that's to be made for both of these, so I'm hoping one size fits all, allowing me to fix this on top of the camera, or this onto this mount and this onto the tripod or monopod, which would be especially helpful with larger lenses in sports situations, trying to shoot video with the eye cup to the face. Additionally, while we're showing all the gear, a package full of lenses, a Pelican case for our SD cards, and then this is also my soundbox kit where I keep my Rode microphone and a few other bits and pieces here for the camera. So from a Star Trek standpoint, this is my away team. It's a small bag that includes I put the charger in here, the extra battery in here, and the carry speed, which is our loop that goes on the back of the camera. In this case, for this particular shoot, it isn't necessary to have that because we're using the small monitor. So in terms of being able to set up for both stills and video, even in this what used to be our studio and is now more of a workroom here at the office, it works out really well and gives us a lot of opportunity to create nice footage as well as take some headshots. So HDSLR folks, take a look. Photos and video are available from the same camera. Here's how you set it up for one shoot. Good luck with your shoots as well.